Hey, Cesc and Julian here at Coffee and Talk, and today we're going to talk about paddle products going up in price.
Today we're having coffee at the Padel Club.
Yeah, with a little bit of gossip.
I like it.
Jules, man.
What a mess.
We've been getting emails and emails of our distributors saying, hey, look, prices are going up 2026. You know, all of the manufacturers, what are we going to do? You know, this is a problem not only with the rackets, with balls, with all equipment.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty much the tariffs. You know, who's absorbing some of the costs? You know, are they going to go up totally, full 10, 15, 20%, or some of the people involved, like the manufacturers, are going to try to hold some of that cost? And what does that mean to you guys? You know, I mean, so let's talk about that.
Well, let's talk about with facts first, with the numbers that we know. I mean, we know by a fact because we received an email from Wilson. Wilson is going up.
Wilson, Knox, Adidas, all of them.
So Knox, as a fact, I talked to the representative of Knox in the U.S. His tariffs, they went up almost 15%, but he's going to increase prices only by 5%, and he's going to eat up the other 10%.
Smart.
It's smart, but I mean, your bottom line is going to get hurt.
But at the end of the year 2027, I'm sure he's going to go up even more.
Yeah.
So not all companies are going to do that, and we'll see how long he does that for.
Yes.
He may say that, and then 3 months go by, and he's realizing that it's not working for him, and it can go up. But just
we know also, you know, Dunlop is going up in between 10 and 15%. Bull Paddle, we receive an email going up by 15%.
Anything where, you know, rackets are coming out of China, you're going to see that, you know, and that's probably what 70% of the rackets, you know, are coming from.
Well,
China.
but also Pakistan, you know, getting hit with tariffs.
Yeah, but I don't think as much as China. So
No.
I think people are. I'm not sure what they're going to do. If they're going to just say this is what it is, or are they going to change their model and have them, you know, made elsewhere. Now, I've seen how they make these rackets in Pakistan and China, you know, and it's like in areas where unsafe. I mean, OSHA would have a heart attack. You know, I mean, I feel bad. You know, I mean, you know, these gentlemen are making these rackets by hand. Remember, these are all still made by hand. There's no machine yet that makes them yet by mass production. So they're all by hand. Yeah. You know, so they're getting in there with the resin. You know, the resin fumes are going everywhere.
Yeah,
you know,
the carbon fiber. Yeah,
you got you know, fiberglass everywhere. They're putting it down. You know, they're pressing it. They're heating it. You know, then afterwards they're shaving it off. That stuff gets in the air. You know, that fiberglass and the carbon fiber gets in the air, and they're breathing it. You know, they're sanding it down. I mean, there's like layers of dust like this. You know, everywhere. I mean, it's a horrible situation. So I hope maybe in the future they you know, the majority of them do mass produce them. I think it'll be cleaner, maybe a little bit less.
They can mass produce it because there's so much handwork involved in it. I mean, you can. You know, they always compare with the tennis racket. Tennis racket is very simple. You know what I mean? You put a frame. You know, you put the carbon in it. You cook it, and you're done. Here, because you have the foam in it, you have to make the holes. Everything is manual work. You know, it's very difficult for a machine to do everything.
I think some of it can definitely be done. Like the foam, I mean, they're still hand cutting. I mean, there's machines that can blow those out, you know what I'm saying, make them perfect. You know what I'm saying? They're right there. They don't really need to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sure they can mass produce these, you know. Maybe I think they can do 100%.
Yeah.
But even if they can't, they can, you know, have machines help do the majority of the work, you know, and maybe there's some human touch to it, you know, towards the end.
But let's go back to the tariffs and all that, because this is going to hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, because at Ultra, it's, you know, the price of balls is going up. It's going up by 10%. You know, sometimes be 15%, depends if you're getting the Cesc or the Wilsons or the Dunlops. And that's, you know, from the club point of view, I mean, either you keep selling the kind of balls at the same price, or now you bump up the price, or you eat the difference. And I
think the balls, I mean, I don't think they're gonna really feel anything about the balls, because when you go to play, you have to get balls. You cannot. There's no way around it. You
Yeah.
have to buy the balls.
Yeah.
So you can't get around that. You're forced to do so. You're not going to stop playing because the balls are too expensive. But now rackets is a different thing. If you have a racket now for 6 months or 10 months or a year, and you're thinking of, okay, every year I get a new racket, you might now say, hey, let me just keep the racket an extra year. And that's where you're going to see the effects when it comes to the rackets. So I'm a little nervous. I mean, if you love a racket, right now is probably the best time to buy it.
Well, I mean, look,
sure.
I mean, we have on Padel Smash, we have our own e-commerce
Yeah.
that we do really, really well selling rackets and all that, and we're talking to all these different manufacturers and the representatives, and one smart thing they're doing is that they're restocking. That they're buying more than they usually buy, which is a high risk for them. Because let's say instead of you buying 100 rackets or a specific model, now you're buying 200 or 300, and now you have to move them. You know what I mean? And people get afraid about the increase of the price. How do you change that?
If you really think it's the same thing, because once they're done with that, they're going to have to now sell the rackets at a higher price.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's inevitable. You're just postponing what's going to happen, right? So, I think if the manufacturers, they do absorb some of the costs, I think this will be okay. Like if the rackets, I thought already in 2025, some of the manufacturers were charging way more.
Yeah.
Up $400 plus.
Yeah.
On a lot of rackets. I'm like, wow. This is getting, these prices are getting pretty high
Yeah.
on certain rackets that I thought maybe don't necessarily justify, but. That's just how it is. Imagine now these rackets are going to go over $500.
When we talk to Volt and Hero Start, it's we got the feeling that everybody's these paddle core racket manufacturers, they're holding back a little bit. They don't want to send until the whole tariffs things get settled and all that. It's that they're not shipping out anything because we talked to the Vol guy, to Pedro.
I think what it is they don't know yet. They're still analyzing, gathering data, and trying to plan for 2026.
Yeah.
And they have to be careful because it's going to be slim. They can't project, if there's going to be a loss or less people purchasing. So they're trying to figure that out, and we haven't seen it yet. Because it's still 2025.
Yeah.
We usually tend to see that more in the Q3. Towards the end of Q3. That time. So, we'll definitely keep you up to date when we get that information.
And if you're looking to buy a racket, please go for it. You can check us out. What we have we have really, really good deals on our e-commerce website at padelsmashacademy.com.
Yeah.
And get your hands on as much equipment as possible, because I don't think that things are not going down. We guarantee you that. Sooner or later, they're going to trickle up.
If you like the racket you're using,
Yeah.
like you said, it's best maybe just go and purchase one right now. Especially like a 2024 usually are a lot less because they're last year's model.
For me, the Tapia Knox from last year, for me, I think it was
racket.
much, much better than the one from this year. It feels different.
It's very similar. It's just a preference, but that's still that was the number one racket in 2024.
Yeah.
It was a great racket.
Yeah.
And that's a great price now because it's an older model. So, like I said, grab yourself some 2024 leftovers that are new. I think that's a smart way of doing it. And if you're using a 2025 right now and you really love it, go ahead and buy another one, because 2026, that one's it's definitely gonna go up. All right, guys, thanks for joining us at Coffee and Talk, and we'll see you in the next one.